Could there be an issue giving compliments? Hello, and today's insight is going to be about complimenting people. Now, there might be a problem complimenting people, and I will say this, okay? Now, I love complimenting people, and one of the ways that I rebuilt my connection with people after my accident was by complimenting them. And in so doing, I learned two very important lessons. All right. Number one, girls like any compliment, any type of compliment. That's what I learned first time around. What I also learned is that men shy away from compliments, especially if you don't know them well enough and you just blurt it out. And that's generally how I compliment people is when I see something I like or when I see something that I want to compliment a person on, I just compliment them. And it works for girls all the time, not so much for guys. Now, yesterday, I learned the hard way. Well, actually, I didn't learn it yesterday. I learned it today because my sister was with me and she suggested something to me that I never thought of. In my mind is like, if you compliment a girl on her looks, then she'll appreciate it and she'll be flattered. Not always the case. Anyway, so I said something that was kind of a blunder, and that makes me understand men and their perspective about complimenting women. So I understand your perspective. It's not easy to compliment women in a way that will be accepted from them, right? So when a guy compliments me and it sounds a little, how should I say it? A little, only physical, I thank them for it because I know there's something else, like there's something below that compliment that they actually can't express in words. Which would be my case in this situation, because at the time when I complimented that guy, I complimented him on what I saw and the fact that he had beautiful eyes, but he took it the wrong way, right? Because guys prefer to be complimented on something that you notice about them that you noticed over a longer time, or something in regards to what they're currently, like an action that they're doing. So typically I I shy away from complimenting men off the get-go now, but I still continued complimenting women off the get-go. And as I said, as I kind of alluded to this, I complimented a girl yesterday, and it was like at the moment I didn't notice this, but my sister explained to me that it was slightly not well received. I'm like, okay, so it's a learning experience for me, and I'll learn not to do it again. So you can compliment. What I learned from this situation is that complimenting women is good, and complimenting women on their looks is good, not in the sense of you look pretty, but in the sense of that dress looks nice on you, or something along those lines. Their choice of dress, their choice of makeup, their choice of the way of doing their makeup, and so on and so forth. Maybe I should compliment them on that. Maybe I should be more, because my sister was like, you know what it is? My sister was like, your very detailed compliments can be misconstrued and ill-received. So from what I understand, okay, when you give compliments to a woman, all right, it's best you do a general compliment on their appearance. And when you compliment a guy, and please correct me if I'm wrong, okay, because everyone's gonna have their own perspective and everyone's gonna have their little slight differences, but generally this is the rule I follow. That was the one for women. This is the one I follow for men. For men, I compliment them because of what I've seen over a duration of time, or what I've seen of their actions over a duration of time. So if they're very punctual, if they're very astute, if they're very hardworking, if they're very well dressed, if they're very on point, if they're very, the list goes on and on. But generally, men prefer, and correct me if I'm wrong, men prefer you compliment them on something that they are doing as an action, because that's what they've been that's what they have been programmed from childhood to be concentrated on, while as girls are more concentrated on how they look, right? How they look, how they appear, their dress, those types of things. So I generally compliment women more on their appearance, but what I've learned is that when you compliment them on their general appearance, not a very specific and very detail oriented compliment, is best received that way. And for men, if you compliment what they're doing, that will be best received. But there's always a way to go about this, right? So you can, for example, if you are going to compliment a guy on their appearance, instead of just saying, "Oh, your outfit looks good," be like, "Well, you have chosen very well. You've matched the outfit very well. The colors accentuate your confidence, right? Or the clean cutness of your suit accentuate your boldness in business," or something along those lines. While as women, we can also use that for women too. The hair color makes your eyes pop, or the way you dress is very complements your figure, type of thing. Okay, there is a very homogenized way of complimenting people that will be acceptable for men and for women. So I'm pretty sure that if you, and this is for me as well, because I like to compliment individuals. So now it's just, when they say it's things that you know. So this is now, the learning scale, I think it's when you don't know that you don't know, when you know that you don't know, when you know that you know, and then when you don't know that you know. When it's done automatically, second nature. So that's the scale of learning. I'm not sure if that's the exact terminology, but that is where you want to get to, the not knowing that you know, because it's a part of your subconscious. And where I am at right now is consciously knowing that I need to learn this trait, which is the way I should compliment both men and women, which is how you should compliment either men or women. So for women, from what I can understand, ultimately the conclusion I just arrived at is that, the difference between men and women is that you can compliment them on the exact same thing, but from different perspectives. So, for example, women, when you compliment women, they much rather be complimented on the end result of what they have done. So you compliment them on the end result of what they have done. Like, for example, the way that the project was well done, well put together, very well appearance. Or you can compliment them on the way that the choice of the makeup palette makes them look beautiful, right? It's the end result of what they chose. While as men, you compliment the action that they took to get to the end result. So if you're also complimenting them on their attire or on their project or whatnot, you compliment on the fact that they have been astute and listening in on what you wanted particularly, or that the color palette that they chose in regards to their dress that day was very well put together. Put an emphasis on, for men, you put an emphasis on the action that they took that led them to the end result. While as women, you put the emphasis on the end result, and like you can compliment the action, but you can acknowledge the action that led to the end result, which is what you place more importance on. While as in regards to men, you place the importance on the action that led to the end result that you see. I hope that makes sense. If not, ask questions and it'll be my pleasure to answer. Okay? So, there's something in the way that you compliment that can be tweaked a little bit to actually reach the end result that you're looking for? Let me know.